Greetings and welcome. My name is Jake Rayson. I am a forest gardener and a forest garden designer, and today I wanted to just quickly talk about Tapestry Lawns. So I'm working on this. This is a Clifftop garden, which I'm working on, and this is the CAD plan of the garden, the first draft of the plan. And I have a tapestry lawn down here. So the pergola is just at the back of the curve, and it's on a cliff, and it looks over it. On the left-hand side, it's a sunny spot, is a lawn, and the client is very happy for me to experiment with a tapestry lawn, so I'm really kind of excited about that. It's 10 meters square, so it's not very much space at all, but it's ideal. It's south facing, it's a damp site, so I've got to be careful about the species choice. So I just wanted to introduce Tapestry Lawns. If you haven't heard them, it's a non-grass lawn. I mean, non-grass lawns have been around for a long time, with chamomile lawns and thyme lawns and like, but there's a chap, Dr. Lionel Smith, Reading University, I think it's Reading University. He's devoted his life to it. This is a tapestry. This is a book which is available. I've got the things up there, the books up there. And he basically goes through different species and which species work with which, and what the management is and the planting for a tapestry lawn. But yeah, so it's really exciting, and it's just like a boost for wildlife. It's very much a managed horticultural space, but it is you can walk on it and use it as a lawn as well. So I'm kind of really excited. Not really geared up for it. Grass lawns are easy because grass lawns have been around for, oh God, goodness me. Well, it depends how far you want to go back. A couple of 100 years, I guess. So there's always there are grass seed mixes, and you sow the grass seed mix, and it takes, and there's different species, and it's all been very, it's easy to do. Whereas a tapestry lawn is a kind of new fledged thing, so very much it's very much a new thing. The URL. Let me just get the URL up for you. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Let me get the URL for you. Don't do that. The URL is that, so bit.ly tapestry-lawn, and that'll take you to that page. And what I've done, because I'm interested in forest gardening, obviously, what I've done, I'm interested in wildflowers as well, native wildflowers, because native plants are co-evolved with native wildlife, and so they have more benefit. Basically, is the sum of it. So a lot of kind of projects I'm working on where this is the case. So what I've done is to take the plants, and I've kind of just got the native species from that list. Now there are nativars, there are what do you call them? They're native cultivars. So I've kept those on the list because you're providing most of the ecological services as native plants, but with a bit of changing leaf colour. Generally not as good as a native plant for wildlife, but it's some sort of compromise. So anyway, I've got a really good list here for native plants, and I've done the same kind of thing. I've made a spreadsheet, like I have a good spreadsheet, like I have with the with the forest garden plants. So it just helps me make the choices about the different species, and it's a work in progress. But if you are interested in that at all, native species, this is the URL for that, bit.ly /tapestry-lawn-natives, and that'll take you to the spreadsheet. And I'm just using this to kind of figure out what species will work well. Full sun, moist, possibly damp. I need to do some testing. I need to dig the soil and see where the water table is and stuff. But this is my list of native plants. So I'm going mostly native. I might sneak a couple of non-natives in there possibly, but it's a big old list. It's a big old choice, and some of this will work. Some won't work. Some will. And the job I've got tomorrow is to figure out which ones will work. Now they talk about. Oh, if you want to find out more information, it's on Sarah Wilson's Roots and All podcast. There was an episode back in episode 71. God, that seems like a lifetime ago. 27th of July 2020. And he's talking about horticulture. He's talking about tapestry lawns there. And really, really good podcast. I love what Sarah does, and really, really interesting. So that's worth a listen as well. And so yeah, so what he talks about when he's creating the lawns is using tiles. So it's using 3 litre plastic British seed trays, and they're a kind of odd size. They're kind of they big. I don't know if you can see that, kind of big, and creating tiles of plants. But no one really does it. No one really sells them. So I will be buying plug plants. Are kind of easier to get hold of. Possibly not so easy to make into a tapestry lawn. But then again, it's only 10 square meters, so I can be quite focused on the gaps and maintaining it as well. So I'll be using plug plants from a local. There's a couple of local suppliers, brilliant Celtic wildflowers down in Cardiff, and Celtic wildflowers. Let me just get that up there, and that they're fab. And there is also one over in Haverfordwest in Pembrokeshire as well, which is another one that I use. And there's a couple. Yeah, there's one over by Carmarthen. So there's a few kind of native wild plants places that I'll look at and get some plug plants for the different species, which would be great if I can get on with that. So that's going to be another job to do next week. I'll start doing that. I'll start buying the plants. So this is where I'm very much at the moment. I'm going to go down tomorrow. I'm going to go through this big old list here, choose the plants that I think are the most appropriate, and there's about 24, 25 different species. Choose the ones I think are most appropriate for the site. Check out the site again tomorrow, do a bit of digging, see where it's at, and then I'll start kind of designing the kind of tapestry, the different parts, the different sections for it. So I'm really excited about that. That should look amazing, absolutely amazing, with a green roundwood pergola. And then a gravel path, a bendy, twisty gravel path, and some just like beautiful plants there. So I'm really excited about this. And I forgot to put in the stones as another thing. Habitat as habitat, like piles of local slate, and I just want to kind of create stone piles and then put them amongst the dwarf oregano. I want to get dwarf oregano because there's not much space around the paths. And a kind of native oregano is kind of quite tall. It gets, 60 centimetres, 80 centimetres. So they are pretty tall and they flop everywhere. Whereas the dwarf oregano, there's one called Nanum, I think it is. It's about 25 centimetres tall. So it's much more manageable. And I want to kind of grow that maybe with time, but get that going with the local stone, which is coming off the site, and have stone piles. And I'm going to have log piles in other parts of the site as well. And I've got standing dead tree, which is fantastic. So we're going to, poor old lady Andy it's growing underneath some telephone lines, so it has to come down anyway, and it just hogs up a whole load of light and stuff. And so that's coming down, and I'm going to be using it as a standing dead tree. So take off the branches, ring the tree at the bottom, take the bark off the bottom, and it kills it. But then use it for put a climber on it, and then also use it. You'll have loads of deadwood there, which birds like woodpeckers and stuff will come and use it. So that's pretty amazing, actually. I'm quite chuffed about that as well. So anyway, lots going on. I'll keep you updated about the Tapestry Lawn as and when I come to it, and what kind of plant species I decide to use in that space. Okay, that's me done for. I hope my mic was turned on and all that. Yeah, I think it was. That's me done for. Catch up with you soon. Cheers then. Bye.